Hello, my posse. Hi, all my new subscribers. Thank you so much for coming to my living room today. Today we're going to talk about my CAT scan reports that came back from my cancer. You know, I have these every 3 months and I always give you an update, and I got the results yesterday, so we're going to give you my results and also tell you, as a cancer patient, what I eat in a day. And I'm not so sure if it's because I have cancer I eat like that, or I just eat like that normally. But we're going to go over some of the foods that I eat and then fix my top and have some tea, and let's go get started. Let's go. So yeah, thank you so much for coming to my living room today. I so appreciate you all being here. I love when you come over and we can chit chat. It's so much fun. I feel like you're just here with me, guiding me through my life and helping me so much through my cancer journey. I don't know what I would have done without you. And some of my new subscribers don't know that I have been on a cancer journey. So we'll talk about that for a minute, and then we'll get on with the video. But today we're drinking medley. We've got, what do I've got here? I've got mint medley today, herbal tea blend of cool garden spearmint and peppermint tea, and it is by Bigelow. Those are my nail wraps from Lily and Fox. So I love this. This is like really cool and refreshing. And after my nerves of going to my oncologist yesterday, I need cool and refreshing. So have some sip of tea with me and let's get started. So yeah, some of you know, this top will make me crazy. Some of you know that every 3 months I have my CAT scans, which of my abdomen, pelvis, and chest, and I do some of my spine every 4 months, my MRI of my spine. I had my MRI of my spine, and it did show that I have, my cancer had metastasized to my upper spine, and I still have some fragments left and lesions left in the upper spine. We're not going to do anything about them right now until the pain is so bad I can't stand it. I do have a lot of pain, but it's bearable at the moment. I am going to see a pain management doctor next week, I think the week after, and he's might be able to do surgery on there, which where they do kyphoplastic surgery, which they go in with a cement into your spine and they fill up the holes that are in my back. Because when I had cancer in my spine, it's like they explained it like the vertebrae broke and there's holes in the spine, and those holes are causing me the pain. So he goes in there with a little bit of cement and injects it, fills up the holes in the broken vertebrae. It should eliminate my chest and my back pain, I'm hoping. So I talked to him in a couple of weeks. I don't know that yet, but I did have my CAT scans back yesterday. My oncologist said I am still in remission. Yay. I see you clapping. I see you clapping out there. Thank you, girls. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I am still in remission. There is no new growths. Everything's quiet. Lymph nodes are fine. No new growths in the spine except for the lesions that are up on the top spine. May have to do radiation on those, but right now I'm not. The tumor, I had stage 4 breast cancer, as you know, which is the worst you can get, I guess. So, you know, never give up. That's all I can say is never give up when they say stage 4, because I'm a prime example. And I had another lady that worked at the doctor's office who had stage 4 colon cancer and survived. So there is survival. So don't fret when you hear that word. I know it's frightening. But anyway, they said the tumor in my left breast is where I had the stage 4 breast cancer is almost gone. Every CAT scan I have, it gets smaller and smaller, and this time it was even smaller than the one before. So, yeah, I know. It's time to drink on that one, right? Let's have a sip of tea on that one. Or whatever. I should have something stronger in here. I should throw all my pills away and have a little vodka. Yeah, a little vodka. No. I'd rather take my pills. Anyway, so yeah, thank you for all your prayers. I so appreciate you. You know how I appreciate your prayers. I don't really think I would have gotten through all this and come out of this in remission if it wasn't for your prayers. So thank you so much for that. I'm so happy. And I go in another 3 months and have them repeated, and then we'll go from there, and then I'll see what the pain doctor has to say about the surgery. if I could eliminate some of this pain that I have through my chest and through my upper back where the lesions are, I would be really, really happy. Let me tell you. Oh, I didn't think I turned my video on. That would have been awful. Oh my gosh. So, and some of you want to know in my cancer journey what I eat during the day. And, I don't think I've really changed much. What I've done the most is cut my portions down. And I lost 50 some pounds, as some of you know who've been with me a long time, since my cancer journey 2 years ago. I was diagnosed, I think, January or February of 2023. 23, 4, 25. Yeah, I guess it was 2023. So it's 4 years. Is it 4 years? 23, 24, 25, 26, 3 years. 3 years ago. And I was really in bad shape. I'm telling you, the pain was terrible. I really don't think they thought I was going to make it, but here I am. So again, let me just say, never give up if you have a cancer diagnosis. Never, ever give up. What I say is you got to have a positive attitude. You got to have people praying for you. And I don't do anything differently, except I don't know if it matters or not, but I take my pain medications every day at the same time. Not my pain medications, my cancer medications that I'm on for chemo. It's a chemo pill, I guess, and I take it every day exactly at the same time. I don't know if that helps or not. I do a few exercises every day. Me and my husband do them. I do some arm exercises. We do a little leg exercises. Nothing strenuous, nothing strenuous. If you think you have to do them and you have to do 20 of them, then you'll never do them. You have to do them like in small increments. We found that out. You can't think about doing things in large quantities, and that's the same it is with eating. You can't eat in large quantities. You have to eat in small proportions. And I think that's what I do. I talked a little bit in another video about losing weight and about the foods that you eat. And I think really I have the same thing for breakfast every day. I made some notes just so I don't forget to tell you what I do. And I don't want to put a pen in my hand again because I'll have the pen all the way through the video like I did before. Oh my gosh. But anyway, I have the same thing for breakfast every day. And some of you might say, oh no, that's too much sugar. But I've talked to my oncologist about sugar, and he said that there's no real documentation that sugar stirs up cancer cells. But I know it's a big controversy out there. But I do stay away from sweets. Nothing like I used to. Girls, I am like the biggest sweet eater you can imagine. But I do have to have my taste. So every morning this is what my husband makes me. I'll drop in a picture. So yeah, that's what he makes me every morning. And once in a while, I'll deviate from that, maybe have some cream of wheat. I do like cream of wheat, and I'll have a piece of raisin toast and some orange juice occasionally. But I like my muffin, my fresh orange, navel orange in the morning, and a little bit of orange juice I know there's some sugar in orange juice. This is low sugar orange juice, and it's really good. But I have probably a quarter cup, a half a cup, just enough to take my morning after I eat pills, and my vitamins. I have to take my vitamins after I eat. Oh yeah, my vitamins. I'll show you what I have to take for vitamins. Hold on. So yeah, in the morning I do take my vitamins. I take them after I eat. I can't take them on an empty stomach, or I get so nauseated. I just can't. And in the morning, me and Denny take our vitamin D. I take one. It's 1,000 IUs. 25 mcgs, whatever, but we just take one of those. He takes 2 of those a day because of his back is so bad. His bones, fractures in his spine are bad. I was taking 2. My doctor said I only needed 1. So I take 1 vitamin D in the morning after I eat. I take 1 Nature Made Gummy C. I take 250 milligrams. I take 2 of these. They're the gummy orange chewables. You can eat them like candy. I could just keep popping them in my mouth. I bought the bigger ones, the higher dose ones, but they're sour, and I don't like sour. I like more sweet, and these are more sweet. I'd rather buy the lesser milligrams and eat a couple. So that's what I take in the morning after I eat. And then the multivitamins are definitely one that I have to take after I eat. I take 0 sugar multi gummies. This is by Nature Made. Also, I buy a lot of Nature Made vitamins. I just like them. They don't upset my stomach as much. And these are like gummies, but they're coated with sugar. They taste like candy. So these are what I take in the morning after I eat, along with my second cancer pill, my Verzenio I take, and which is the one that my doctor has me on for what my cancer was, which seems to be working fairly well. They lowered the dose a little bit. The higher dose wasn't agreeing with my stomach. And then I take my gabapentin for the nerve pain that I have from the radiation. I take those. So that's what I do after breakfast. And then breakfast, you see what I have. I have my muffin, my orange juice, and my orange, and I'm satisfied with that until lunch. And lunch varies. You know, lunch to me, most of the time, I'll tell you a couple quick recipes that I have. I take raisin bread. I take a glass. I cut out circles in the raisin bread. I butter the one side lightly, put it in a pan. I add Swiss cheese and one small piece of ham. And sometimes if it's a big piece of ham like this, I cut it in squares and just put a quarter of the piece of ham in on top of the Swiss cheese. I make it like a grilled cheese. It's like a grilled breakfast lunch sandwich, and I grill it on both sides. I usually have that with a handful of grapes, and sometimes I'll have some cucumbers on the side for lunch, cut up cucumbers, and then sometimes I'll make a tomato salad. We, as Italians, had tomato salad my mother used to make. You just cut up tomatoes in cubes. Somebody's at my door. My Ring doorbell went off. But my mother cuts up the tomatoes in cubes. We add basil, and in the summer, fresh basil cut up small, or if you sprinkle it on your tomatoes. We add fresh parsley cut up really small, a little bit of green pepper cut up in little tiny cubes, a little salt, a little pepper, and when I make it for like lunch for us, I maybe put a teaspoon of olive oil in that, and I mix it really good and try to make it early in the morning so by lunchtime it's really cold. It's kind of an Italian tomato salad, I think it is. I don't know, maybe some of you will go, oh, I make that too, and I'm not Italian. I don't know, but as my mother always called it, Italian tomato salad. And sometimes I'll have that on the side. And to drink, usually just water. I like the Propel powdered little powdered things that you put in the water. I'm not a big fan of water. It's hard for me to get just plain water down. I like the Propel in there. And I usually drink 2 16-ounce bottles of water a day, and that's good for me. And then I count if I have a little bit of orange juice or if I have a little bit of low-fat chocolate milk. I count that kind of as my liquids, because I count Denny's liquids, so I kind of count mine. I don't like to overwater myself, but enough to hydrate me and to keep the bowels flowing and everything flowing really nice. But I don't want to overdo it. You know, you can drink too much water too and get really sick. So you want to kind of limit your water and not overdo it. If you have a hard time drinking water and you just can't sit down and drink a bottle of water because the thought of it makes you crazy, I've put little glasses in my bathrooms, little 4-ounce glasses, 5-ounce glasses that I got at the dollar store. I keep them in my bathroom, and every time I go to the bathroom, I fill up that water glass and I drink it. And that way you get your water in little squirts all day, and you don't think of it as sitting down to a whole bottle of water. Sometimes when you sit down to like a whole, like here's one. Sometimes if you sit down to a whole bottle of water, this is 16 ounces, and think, I got to drink all that. Sometimes you just can't. You know, it's not in you to do it. If it's not in you to do it, you don't do it. That's what I say about everything. If it's not in you to do it, don't do it. Try something else. So if this is too difficult for you, you know, you can just go around and fill up little glasses in your bathroom, in your kitchen. Every time you go in your kitchen or in your bathroom, you fill up, you drink a little bit of water. Before you know it, you'll have, 24, 36, 40 ounces of water in, whatever floats your boat, floats your stomach for your water intake. You can get your water in little increments, I guess, of water a day. So that's what basically my lunch is. And then sometimes I'll make chicken sandwiches. I love Hawaiian rolls, And I'll make a can of the chicken, the white breast chicken in the can that you can buy. I'll drain it really good. Add some water, drain it off really good. I'll put it in a colander, drain all the liquid off the chicken. I'll put the chicken in a bowl. I'll add a little bit of pepper. I'll add a half a teaspoon of relish to that. I'll add a little bit of mayonnaise, a little squirt of mustard. I'll cut up onion, a little piece of onion. I'll cut it up really small. I'll cut up celery, really small little pieces of celery. I'll mix it in with the chicken and mix it all around till it's really good and smooth and creamy, and I'll put it on Hawaiian rolls for me and Denny for lunch. It's delicious. And again, I'll have that with maybe an apple. I like to take an apple too. This is an old Weight Watcher apple trick that we used to do. You take a apple and you core it, and you can peel it, and you put it in a bowl, and you add red pop, excuse me, you can add diet red pop to that if you want. Red pop, cinnamon, sugar on top of that. Cover it, put it in the microwave until it's real thin. It's almost like an applesauce, but you don't cook it down till it's applesauce consistency. So it just has a little nice bite to it. And that's a really good side dish for lunch. Very, very good. The apple, the red, it has to be red pop. I don't know if I just said that, but it has to be red pop. So I don't know, it's just Fago red pop, I guess, is what I buy. And you just add it to the apple. I make 2, 3, 4 of them at once, and we have them, for the rest of the week or a couple of days for lunch. And that's really good on the side with a chicken sandwich. So I get my, my protein in, and I use real mayonnaise. I don't use low fat. I just as soon not do anything than do low fat. I mean, if I'm going to eat, I'm going to eat. If I'm going to have good taste buds and enjoy my food, I'm going to enjoy my food, or I'm not going to have it at all. I'm not going to count my calories. I'm not going to count my portions. If I have to go fat-free, anything, I'm just not going to do it. And there's probably more crap, so to speak, in fat-free stuff than there is in regular stuff. So I use regular mayonnaise. I use regular salad dressing if I'm going to make a salad for Denny and I. If I have ranch, I'll use real ranch dressing. If I wanted a little bit more and it's too much, I'll add a little bit of milk to that and stir it up really good, make it a little thinner. I'll kind of cut it a little bit with milk so it's not too much fat that you're getting with the salad dressing. And that you can do whatever you're using. If you're using an oil and vinegar, you can cut that with a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of regular oil, and you can cut your oil and vinegar dressing just to cut the salt down on it or whatever you want to cut, and you'll still get flavor. Then he doesn't salt anything by hand. I salt a little bit of everything because I can, but he can't. So whatever diet restrictions you have for that, that's what you have to go by. And it works out really good. There's just a couple of lunch suggestions for you that are really good. And I think when you use the glass, cut the bread, whatever bread you use, and cut the circle of the glass, and you have a nice sandwich is about that big with the circle, depending on the size glass. You don't want to use a little whiskey glass or anything and cut. Although you could probably do those. Oh, that would be a good idea, actually. Use a little whiskey glass and cut 3 or 4 little sandwiches out of the bread, and you have little bite-sized little. Oh, I just made that up. Huh. And you have little bite size. You can even put a little toothpick in it and add a little mayonnaise and milk and a little dressing, little dill in it or something, and dunk it in that and have that for lunch. There you go. I just made one up for you. Good girl, Babsy. I'm telling you. But you can have that. You just use your mind a little bit and use your flavor. You want to always eat with flavor. You got to eat with flavor. You can't be on these diets that take away your flavor because, man, you're just not going to stay on anything, and you're not going to enjoy it. When I sit down, I did my video before on things that I love. I love to eat. I love to sit down to an enjoyable meal, and I have to enjoy it. I'm not going to enjoy it if I have low fat this and low fat that and sugar free this and sugar free. I'm not going to do it. I'll eat less, but I want my taste buds to go. That's just me. That's the way I am. So that's pretty much my breakfast and my lunch. And I do have, I think I have a picture here. I'll drop it in. If you don't see the picture, that means I couldn't find it. I do like those little Cheez-Its. Little curly Cheez-Its. Oh my gosh, I love those. I watch that with the salt in it for Denny. But sometimes for lunch, I'll make that little sandwich, and I'm going to make that little whiskey sandwiches, little bites. I'm going to make that tomorrow. And then I'll take a handful, just a handful of those Cheez-Its, and I'll put them in there, and then I'll use some grapes on the side. And it gives me, my little taste buds go bonkers for all the different flavors. So that's what I like. So that's my lunch. And usually for dinner, Kroger's has these little individual salads. They're 3 for $11, I think, and you can get them chef salads, Caesar salads. They have a walnut salad, which I love. It has blue cheese cut up in it, and on the top of it, they have all the little ingredients that go on the inside of the salad. The bottom of the bowl is the lettuce, and then inside this little topper thing, it has either nuts and raisins and different toppings that you can throw in the salad and mix it up. And then you can mix some of your own if you want. One of those is enough for Denny and I for a meal before we eat. So I'll split the lettuce, and then I'll take the toppings and I'll split them up, and some of them come with hard-boiled egg in them, and I'll split them up between us, and sometimes I'll add a little bit onion of my own, or a little bit of celery cut up of my own, or a little bit of cran raisins I'll put in there. And then I'll take the dressing. It comes with its own dressing. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. I'll make my own dressing, and I'll use a little bit of mayo. Sometimes I'll use a little squirt of Catalina. I'll use a little bit of squirt of ranch. I'll use a little bit of dill flakes. I'll stir a little bit of basil sometimes in there. I'll stir it up really, really good. Maybe add a little milk to that and make the consistency a little less strong from what I mix. But I make up my own as I go along. I love to make up. Sometimes I make things and dunky things, and Denny will go, "Man, that's good. Where'd you get that?" And I go, "I made it up myself in the kitchen." So sometimes you've got to just think about your taste buds and what's good and what satisfies you and what you like, and then improvise from that and make it. And so then I use that, and I put that in a salad. Not much dressing, just enough to kind of wet the lettuce and make it tasty. And we'll have the salad before, and then sometimes we'll have the soup before, which I'll tell you my soup recipes in a minute. But then I'll have my protein, which I'll have a little bit of steak, or I'll have a pork chop. We love breaded pork chops. I love fried breaded pork chops. I don't fry them too much anymore, but I have been known to fry a pork chop now and then breaded. But I do try to bake those as much as I can. It's much more healthy. And I just do a little bit of breading, Italian breadcrumbs, a little bit of egg, a little bit of milk in the egg, make it thinner, put the pork chop in the egg, put the pork chop in the breaded breadcrumbs, put it in there, and then put it in a baking pan and bake it. And that I love. You can put some apples over it if you want a little apple taste over your pork chops, and put it in the oven for 30 minutes, however many you have in there. Cover it, and that's really, really good. The pork chops come out really tender. So that's the way I like my pork chops. I mean, if you're going to have plain pork chops, I don't know. I think the only way that I've ever liked plain pork chops is fried. And I don't do that often, but you can do it. You can probably put them in the air fryer. I'm just now catching on to the air fryer. I'm not big on that air fryer. I don't know why. My son-in-law goes, "How can you not use an air fryer?" And I go, "I don't know." I mean, I'm just catching on now a little bit of heating up things in the air fryer, but it's just not my thing. I don't know. It must be a generation thing. I don't know. But anyway, I don't know. But where was I? Anyway, you can put your pork chops in there, I guess, if you want to. Chicken, I do the same thing. I bread them, put them in the oven and bake those breaded. We love that. There's lots of recipes you can make up. You can take your chicken, you cut little lines in it, you put the top, a little bit of mayonnaise on the top, not a lot, I'm not talking a lot, a little bit of mayonnaise on the top of the chicken, put it in aluminum foil and bake that, and that's a really good taste. The mayonnaise goes through the chicken, not globs of mayonnaise to where it's like, "Oh, Babsy, you can't use all that mayonnaise." Just a little bit for taste. That's a good, really good part to have for protein a little bit. You can make it plain. You can make, like I say, make your dipping sauce on your own. Use your imagination for your ingredients, how to flavor it, and you can dunk your chicken in that. There's, all kinds of ways. You don't have to buy it like from the store and have all these ingredients on it and all this sodium when you can cut it yourself with milk or water or whatever you want to use to cut some of the sodium and stuff in and still get a really good dip for your chicken in that. And some people like ketchup, whatever. And that I usually have with green beans. Now my green beans, I like flavor, so I usually take my green beans, add a little bit of salt, a little tiny bit of butter in the bowl. I add a little bit of pepper, and I add basil, just a jar of the sprinkled basil, and I put a little bit of basil, stir it up really good, put it in the microwave and cook it. The green beans with the taste of basil is absolutely delicious, and it really satisfies your palate back there into something really unique and different and really good and healthy for you. Not unhealthy at all. You can skip the butter and you can skip the salt if you want. And if you're watching your sodium restriction, you can rinse off your green beans in a colander and, strain them really good if you're, watching your salt intake like I do for Denny. So that I have with my dinner. So I have my protein, I have my vegetables, and sometimes I'll cut up my cucumbers really small in cubes. I love to, now the sour cream, low-fat sour cream, is the only thing that I'll use in low fat because I don't mind the low-fat sour cream. I'll take my cucumbers, I'll cut them up really small in cubes, not real small so they're mushy, but nice cube sizes. I'll add a tablespoon of low-fat sour cream to that. I'll stir it up really good, add a little salt and pepper to taste, put them in the refrigerator so they're chilled, and that's a good side dish for your dinner time, which is really good. And again, the Italian tomato salad is another really good side dish, and you can even add cucumbers to that Italian tomato salad. There you go, I'm a recipe. Chef Barbera. What is that? No, Chef Barbera. I don't know. I just come up with that. I should have Bella here. She was always my Chef Bella when she was cooking with me. And I have some cooking videos on there from Bella with my Italian meatball soup that she made one time when she was really little. That was really good. I don't know if I could find that and link it in the description box. I don't know. It was so long ago. It was way back in the beginning we made that, I think. And we also made on here a recipe for Italian breaded steak that she absolutely loves. And she helped me do a video once. Gosh, I don't know, she was like 7 or 8. I mean, that was when you were allowed little kids on your videos. Now you're not allowed. Now you have to be 13 or 14, I think, in order to do a video, or is it 16? I don't know. But anyway, they're old enough now, I know that. So, but she made a few videos with me back in the day when she could, and they're really good. And I do make soups. So some of you have asked me to please give you my recipe for vegetable soups. I have 3 recipes that I make for soup, and you're gonna laugh. My vegetable soup I make, here's what I do. I take my onion, I cut it up really small, put it in a pan. I take fresh garlic, I cube my fresh garlic, put that in a pan. I take some celery, cut it really small, put that in a pan. I put a little bit of butter, not much. When I say a little bit, put that in a pan. I melt the butter with the onions and kind of mash them up a little bit till they're just kind of browning a little bit. I add a half a can or half a container of chicken bouillon soup to that mixture. I mix that really good. I cover it. I cook it until the celery is soft. You can put enough celery in there so you have, when you eat the soup, you taste it. And then, girls, I go to the grocery store and I buy every can of vegetable soup that they have. I mean, not every can, but I'll buy a can of Campbell's. Try to buy the low sodium. I do buy the low sodium for Denny for that. Low sodium vegetable soup, low sodium vegetarian vegetable soup, which has the potatoes in it. I buy the low sodium healthy choice cans of vegetable soup. Any kind of vegetable soup that they have at the store, I buy, and I add it to my ingredients. I cook it all for like a half an hour till all the flavors kind of go through. And that is my homemade vegetable soup. And I don't have time to stand over a stove. And then to that, sometimes I'll add a can of cannelloni, why can't I think of that? Cannelloni beans or kidney beans. I'll add a can drained really well of kidney beans to that soup. No noodles or anything. And I'll mix that all together. And then I pour it all in little freezer bowls like this. This is bigger than 6 or 8 ounces. So I think 8 ounces, I have them measured, is about to here. So I'll make 8 ounces of soup and I'll freeze them. And then for dinner, when we want vegetable soup, we have fresh homemade vegetable soup. And I gave it to my daughter. She goes, Mom, you make the best vegetable soup ever. I go, yeah, I do, don't I? But anyway, that's my vegetable soup. So that was that. So then my chicken soup, I do the same thing. I start out the same way with the celery, with the onions, with the garlic. I make that all really good. I mix it with the chicken bouillon, chicken broth. I mix that, wait till that softens, and then I go to the store and I buy all kinds of chicken noodle soups. Chicken with this, chicken with vegetables, chicken this, and I buy maybe 5 cans of soup. I add instead of water, I'll add chicken broth to the cans to mix it. I let that cook for a half an hour. That's like homemade chicken soup. Now to that, I will add some noodles because that's really good with noodles in it, the chicken noodle soup. That's delicious. Potato soup, I'll take 1 potato, 1 russet potato, I'll cut it up in cubes, I'll add it to the pot, I'll add a half of the container of chicken. I use chicken bouillon, chicken broth a lot more than I do the vegetable and the beef. I don't like the flavors of those. I like the chicken flavor the best. To the potato, I'll add some celery. I'll add some carrots to that. I'll let that cook down really good. I'll take 2 to 3, maybe 4 sometimes, of bacon strips cooked really, really crispy. I'll crumble those up and put those in there. And to that mixture, I'll go to the store and I'll buy all kinds of potato soups that they have. They have Healthy Choice potato soups, low sodium. Campbell's makes a delicious potato soup, can of potato soup. I'll buy a couple cans of those. Whatever they have on the shelf that looks good, I'll buy and add to my own mixture, stir it up real good, cook it for a half an hour, put it in my containers, and I have homemade potato soup, and nobody knows the difference. And even Denny, I made it one day and I didn't tell him, and he said, this is the best potato soup you've ever made. I'm like, yeah, thanks, Campbell's. So those are some of the ideas that you can come up with, that you don't have to sweat over a stove and a sink all day cutting things up, and they work out perfectly. And I always, like I say, try to buy the low sodium in everything that I can buy. And what I can't, I cut it with a lot of, either water or the chicken broth soup. And that's what I have. And for desserts, we're big sweet eaters, like I say. So sometimes after dinner, I have to have something sweet. We'll either have a cookie. I'll have those little brownies that I buy from Kroger's that are really low in fat. We've got down to where we just have one a piece for dessert. And we'll have that. Or at night, sometimes after Denny's done with his little nebulizer treatment, we call it his Nebby treatment for his lungs. He'll go in and get us a low-fat Jell-O pudding and the light Cool whipped cream, and we'll have that like at 9:30, quarter to 10 at night before we go to bed. And that's pretty much my day of eating. And it's tasty, it's easy, and it's healthy. It really is healthy. I don't think, you could pick apart the soup, it's got salt, but like I say, buy the low sodium, and I cut it with water and cut it mainly with water. And I do buy when I buy the chicken broth, I buy the low sodium chicken broth. I never buy the one high in sodium. So that's my meals for the day, girls. And like I say, if you're a fish eater, you can have salmon. Salmon's really good for you. I'm not a fish eater. I can't stand salmon. The only kind of fish I love is deep fried fish and chips. On Fridays, we used to get those. And I'll still once in a while spring for those when I go out, because I don't make that at home, because it smells up the whole house, and I don't cook anything like that in the house. But when I go out to dinner once in a great while, I think I've had it this year maybe once when we went out to dinner, because there's one place up here makes the best fried fish with the fish sauce. Oh my gosh, it's so delicious. But you know, I'll have that. Like I say, I've had it once this year, and probably I may have it again, but I doubt it. Who knows? But I just got to get that taste in for that fried fish. It's just so good. So that's pretty much what I eat. And like I say, these little bowls like this, measure not your soup, and every night you can have your salad and your soup if you want. Then you'll just cut down on your protein because it's awfully filling. And some nights, you know, when we're not real hungry, we'll just sit down to a salad and a bowl of soup. This will be 8 ounces we'll have, and you know, then we'll have a little dessert, maybe a little applesauce or something, and we're full. And it's healthy, it satisfies your palate, and it's good for you. And like I say, it's doctor approved for my cancer. There isn't anything in here. I don't eat a lot of bread. Being Italian, I don't eat a lot of carbs. I don't eat a lot of bread. We don't eat a lot of pasta, believe it or not. If I do make pasta, I usually try to make my own sauce, but I cheat a lot with that lately too in my sauce. I don't have a lot of stand-up cook sauce all day. That one sauce is really good. Oh, what's it called? Oh, I gotta get up and get it. Hold on. Anyway, it's Rao's sauce. It's the marinara one. If I want to mix meat with it, the ground meat, I'll mix the ground meat and put it in there. But really, I like it even plain without the meat in it. This is really good. And sometimes I'll make it and I'll add maybe a can of sauce or a can of stewed tomatoes to it. They make a really good stewed tomato. I don't have any in the house right now, but a really good stewed tomato. I'll mash it and I'll have that with this. Denny likes the tomato chunks in his sauce, and I'll make this once in a while. We do like that, but we don't eat a lot of carbs. I don't eat a lot of potatoes. If I'm going to have my meat and my protein, I'll have a half a potato, and that's all I have is just half a potato with a little bit of butter and salt and pepper for myself. I never eat a whole potato, but I don't deprive myself if I want a potato. If I'm out to dinner and a meal comes with potatoes or fries, I'm going to get the baked potato in the half, and then I'll take the other half home. So that's my day, and that's my meal plan for kind of like what I do every day. So I hope that was interesting to you. I hope you liked it. I hope you got some good recipes. I hope you understood and wrote down my homemade vegetable soup, my homemade chicken soup, and my homemade potato soup. And I hope you try them all, and next time you're on my video, you'll say, "Hey, Babsy, I enjoyed that homemade potato soup that I made." And if you don't tell your family, they'll never know, because you can't tell the difference. It's absolutely, positively delicious. And they do, like I say, make a lot of low sodium, low fat soups out there. So no worries about that. So, you know, you got to eat. You can't worry about every little thing that's on the cans. I know I get a lot of people telling me that tea bags and tea things are dangerous for you. You know, everything you eat is, I don't know, it is terrible. When you start reading labels, it's bad. But it's like that with hair products. It's like that, you know, if you take a medication, you'll go, you know, take this medication, the side effects could be, you know, you could go blind, you could have diarrhea, you could be this, your stages will be this, you could get rosy cheeks, you know, your ears will fall off, you know, you get all these things, you hear them on TV with all these side effects. You're going to get something for something. So if you're going to get something, just enjoy what you're doing, enjoy what you're eating, enjoy your life, enjoy the things that make you happy, and life is good. Stay positive, stay beautiful, take care of yourselves. I love you, girls. Thank you so much for coming over, and thank you for praying for me for being in remission. God bless you all. Have a good day, and be kind. We need it today. I'm telling you, we needed to be kind. But I know all of you are. Love you. Bye-bye.